Hi everyone, and welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. We're located in Frederick, Colorado. We're about a half an hour north of Denver, just right off of I-25. My name is Larry Vickers. So in today's video, we're going to answer 3 questions, but they all basically go back to 2 words: why buy? So why buy a Freightliner to start with? Why buy from Transwest? And finally, why buy this specific truck? We're actually sitting in a 2020, a used one. We just got this in on inventory. It has just under 11,000 miles on it, so really a high quality truck that we're going to look at today. But let's go back to our question. So why buy a Freightliner to start with over a pickup? You know, these pickups are able to pull tons now, and let's be honest, they're less expensive. Okay, so let's compare them head to head. The first and the highest priority of answering that question is safety. I mean, we're in a lot larger vehicle, a lot heavier vehicle, so if we're in an accident, chances of walking away from this are substantially higher than a pickup truck. Second of all, and in terms of safety, is look how high we are off the ground right now. If we can just look out there, so when we're going up and down the road, we're above traffic, so we can see potential problems coming at us from the front, from the side as well. Compare that to a pickup truck where we're sitting down in traffic as we're going up and down the road. Another safety advantage to this is the brake system. These are air brakes, so when you compare air brakes to hydraulic, I mean, these are more dependable. For one, if a small leak happens, we can put more air into it, but that hydraulic fluid is just going to eventually leak out till we go to hit our brakes, and there's simply nothing there. Another advantage to this over a pickup is the comfort level. I mean, look how much space we have in here. We're on air seats right now. So an example, if we're going to a show somewhere across country, or you use it for an RV and do a lot of traveling, we're able to go, 8, 10, 12 hours, jump out and have tons of energy left because it is such a comfortable ride for us. So the second why buy question that we're going to address is why buy from Transwest? This industry is growing. There's a few others out there that sell these. Why buy from us? Well, I challenge anybody to look at any review on Transwest. Go to Google, go to whatever information provider that you generally go to. Look us up. Go ahead, look us up, and you will see a long history, not just a fly-by-night thing, but a long history of very successful reviews given to Transwest. Now, there's a reason for that, and that is because of Transwest's dedication to the customer. For example, would be if you were to purchase this truck from us, I look at that, and the other salesmen do too, is that's not the end of our relationship, that's just the start of it. So I'm going to help you as much as I can through the longevity of the life of the truck. When making an investment like this, we're going to have this vehicle for a long time. It's not uncommon to get 500,000 miles out of these trucks, so that's something to take into account. And thirdly, the last why buy that we're going to address today is, well, why buy this specific truck? Well, as I previously mentioned, this is a used truck, a 2020 used truck with 10,969 miles on it. So it still has tons of warranty. Basically, guys, you're getting a brand new truck for a used truck price. So that's a huge selling point there. So let's take a more in-depth and a little bit closer look at this specific truck. So we're on the inside. Right up here is our backup camera. This uses the Voyager system. You can actually hook up a couple more cameras to this. A lot of the guys I'm finding out like this on all the time because you can see as you're going up and down the road what's going on here and here as well. So just the design of it, that's a nice backup camera located right above us. So we're not looking around to try to find the backup camera, just simply look up and it's right there. As we come across, the air horn is located right here. The gauges are pretty self-explanatory. This particular truck does come with 2 air tanks like all haulers do, and there's a gauge for both of them. As we scan over to the right, just basic kind of things. There's for our windows, cruise control. These trucks do come with automatic transmission. So right now we're in neutral with the brake on, but it's simple. R for reverse or D for drive. This is the regen button. More than likely, you're never going to use that. That's more for people that are in large metropolitan area. That's all they do, you know, is that. But these trucks are designed to get out and go across country. And with that being said, you'll probably never have to use that. That locks our differential right here. This is the air dump, so that lets air out of the back of the truck. An example would be when we hooked the trailer up this morning and lowered the truck and back under there to hook it up. These are the fans for the heat that goes to the rear. This is our trailer brake located right here, and just kind of your basic climate control. This is the engine brake. So that's a huge advantage. I mean, right now we're right next to the Rocky Mountains. So an example would be if you're driving through the Rocky Mountains and we find ourselves on a steep decline, we're going to hit that. And that's the high there. So that really slows the vehicle down, or you can go to low simply by pressing that down. So let's take a little bit closer look at the outside of the truck now. Let's start by taking a look under the hood. That is the Cummins 8.9 liter engine. It offers 350 horsepower and 1,150 foot-pounds of torque. It is coupled with the Allison 3200 TRV transmission. And as you'll notice, things are kind of color coordinated. So things like right here, the oil, for example, is in yellow. So where you see yellow or stuff that you and I can kind of check. Now, if we're under there checking the oil and kind of checking things out and a gust of wind comes up, that hood is going to stop. We're not going to get squished under there. The only way to get it all the way down is to push it down. It comes with Michelin 255 80 R22.5 tires. Right here is the wheel balancer, and that is unique to Transwest and the Summit Hauler conversion like this truck. And we've gone over this multiple times, but basically there's a ton of BBs in there with some hydraulic oil, and as you gain speed and pick up momentum, that balances the entire rotating mass. This is the block heater right here. So that's good to have, especially in the weather we're having right now. It comes with 2 50-gallon fuel tanks, one here and then one on the other side. Now as the truck's sitting like it is here, it's balancing itself out. However, when you go to refuel your truck, you're going to want to fuel both tanks independently. This is the DEF tank, which holds up to 6 gallons of DEF fluid. Recent research is showing we're getting about 300 miles for 1 gallon of DEF. This is a trickle charger underneath here. What that does is assist the batteries. So if we're stopped, we're running the DVD or having the lights on, if we can plug that in, that's generally a good idea. As we take a look at the back from the ground level, you'll see a very soft black leather interior. In addition, that back seat does make down into a bed. Just like that. As we continue to walk around, the truck is a little bit different than some of the other Summit haulers that we've been looking at, mainly because there's an additional storage component right here. So that's right there, in addition to the 3 that's very similar to the trucks that we have been looking at. As we continue to walk around, One thing that's different about Summit haulers over some of the competition is there's actually an additional 1,000 pounds of weight over the rear axles. And what that is for is if we're not towing, if we don't have a Cimarron trailer behind us or are just going, that puts more weight back there because obviously the truck isn't balanced right now. So that assists in traction mainly. So if we find ourselves in mud, stuff like that, it's a lot easier to get out. In addition to that, it prevents hydroplaning as well if we're driving through a rainstorm. As we take a look back here, the Summit hauler conversion, this is aluminum. So that isn't steel, that's not gonna rust. So the truck is gonna look very similar 10 years from now as it does today. This is where we hook up the lights. We're not going anywhere is the reason that the safety chains aren't hooked up right now. Again, with just being a 2020 with that few miles, as we walk this way, you can see there isn't a scratch on it. This is basically and generally like a brand new truck. As we take a look here, we can see that the truck is made down into a bed as we previously did. That does meet all DOT requirements for a bed, and we can get a shot from the DVD system from here as well. So just a quick review. We covered basically 3 things today. Why buy a Freightliner to start with, why buy from Transwest, and why buy this specific truck. If you have any other questions about it or if I can provide more information for you, please give me a call. My cell phone number is 970-370-4067. The work extension 303-684-3404. Feel free to email me, guys, larry.vickers@transwest.com. Thanks for tuning in today.